But yeah, let me get this started. Welcome back, everybody, to the Powerstroke Tech Talk podcast. This is number 10, and we have DS here on the bottom right, Matt, and the newcomer, Chad, coming from North Carolina. We got some things we're going to talk about today. A big shout out to Chad, is a Air Force veteran. Big shout out to him. Thank you for your service.
Thank you,
We'd like to have
Chad.
our veterans on, and we're going to talk about what he's done to his truck. We were just talking about a CCV deletes, just kind of in a pregame, and just kind of what we thought, what our experience has been with them, if we've seen trucks come in with them. And another thing I want to talk about is LCF. We don't really see a lot of LCFs. I know a couple of comments before on that video I made of one I was doing injectors on. A couple of guys were like, "Hey, we got a bunch of these in our fleet. Do you guys see them come in? Do you guys even know what an LCF is?" Kind of want to touch on that. And this is a couple days before Christmas, is when we're filming this tonight. So I know we're going to have some different things going on with people's schedules coming up here with the weekend and so forth. We got another guy coming, a firefighter from Chicago, is going to be with us on Saturday. But yeah, I see DS's has got the, I didn't even know it was raining out, but it looks awfully wet.
Are you guys supposed to get snow tonight?
It's supposed to be changing into a
We
big
have a
cold front.
winter weather advisory, so
Wow.
if it started pounding snow yet, I think we're supposed to get like a bunch of ice and then snow on top, so that'll be fun tomorrow.
I like he's got that backdrop. Where's that 450 at, man?
450 is out in front. It's
you just got the plow. Oh, I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's just the plow.
All right.
He dropped the plow.
All right.
Oh man, I have to because I still don't have the headlights fixed.
Haven't heard back from them people yet?
Well, I've been going back and forth a little bit, and the parts guy is saying that the module that you know what the module is.
Yeah.
They're saying the module is the same, and I just got to change out the wiring, and that's not what the guy said the week before. But my thing is, how can a module be the same as the 19? Like, doesn't make any sense. And I'm trying to explain that to them, and they're kind of confused. So I don't understand how it can be the same considering they added a pin and moved 2 other pins. So I don't know. I got to call them again. And so
you should do is have Donna call up there.
Yeah.
And be like,
have your wife call.
Can I get a module for a 2020? Oh, sure, honey.
Their website shows a different part number, but then the guy goes, "Well, that's the same module. They just changed the wiring." I'm like, okay, that's great, but how do they know? How do they account for the pin that's not even there?
Well, they probably still have the pin in the module. They just don't use it normally.
Maybe, maybe.
Chad, what are you rocking? What kind of Super Duty are you rocking?
Stole my question.
Veterans Day, I bought a 2020 Lariat 6.7.
Oh,
nice.
Very happy with it. F250, that is. So I know a lot of people have F350. The DS has got the 450, but I'm rocking the 250.
You got, is it crew cab, super cab?
Yeah, super crew. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, awesome.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. What do you got plans for it? What do you got? You gonna lift it? You can put some tires on it? You can keep it stock?
I'm gonna probably keep it stock as far as suspension goes. I've done a few things. Let's see, I wrote a little list down because I don't remember what I've done. The OEM wheel, front and rear wheel well liners. We conversed a little bit back on that some, I think. WeatherTech mud flaps, I did those. The no tool mud flaps, I like those. I just bought a BMW hitch, which I'm pretty excited about. Pretty heavy duty hitch, and I did the built right dash mount and the rear seat release last night. So that was
what dash mount?
There's a Built Right Industries dash mount.
Really?
So, you did the rear seat release video recently.
Yeah.
So that same company that some of the people in the comments mentioned, the Built Right, they make a really nice dash mount. That little tray in the top that nobody ever uses anything for.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, it's pretty slick.
Built Right dash.
Is that the one that mounts on that little cubby up top? Yeah, that's a nice phone mount.
They have a reinforced metal plate you can order at the same time. So I opted for that, and it makes it that way you're not relying on the plastic underneath to hold everything.
Yeah, let's check this out. If people don't know, you guys should be seeing
Whoa.
my
Whoa.
my thing here. Let's check that out.
Dang, A-Rod, you got
Some what?
got some weird tabs pulled up, dude.
I know. I was trying to. There we go.
No, I'm just messing with you.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah, it's pretty slick.
Yeah, I've seen that on a big truck, big RV. He's
He did an
I've got a-
video, so.
I've got to get one of those. That's pretty cool.
No kidding. That is pretty slick.
Very
I mean,
sturdy.
I can't really say that I ever use that at all myself. So, but that would be a good spot. I like this guy's thing. That's kind of
Yep.
clever. That's kind of clever.
You can do ram mounts. You can do all kinds of mounts to that. There's even a video. Was it Keep It Dirty Off Road? Have you ever seen that guy's channel? He did an iPod. An iPad mount on that, and it held it just fine.
No kidding. I'm gonna have to write that down. I like that. Let's see what we got. Built Right Industries.
Dude, speaking of iPads and things iPad sized, the infotainment center on
That's
the
awesome.
2021 F-150, I swear has to be 14 inches.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
That thing is massive. And
Wow, I like that.
It's loud. It's like Sean's space heater loud. I don't know whose space heater's making all that noise.
Hey, mine.
Can you hear it?
Sounds fine.
It just sounds like I'm in a bathtub.
What's the weather like in North Carolina?
Tonight's probably in the 40s. Calling for rain
Okay.
tomorrow.
Okay. Do you guys get snow?
We haven't had it yet.
No, I mean, do you get snow? Like any snow in North Carolina?
At times we do. Nothing like what you get.
Oh, okay, okay. I was like, I don't know. Do you get snow down that far? I ain't never
Well,
been there.
Depends on where you are in the state. If you're in the mountains, you get quite a bit. I live in the sort of the central part of the state, so
Oh, okay.
there's years we get quite a bit.
Oh, okay, okay. I wonder. He said I think he's going down to North Carolina, and he's got a 19 F250, and he's got the 6.2 in it. I just changed the oil on it today, actually. But I don't know. He was going to come on and talk about it. I know I just got him that was the one thing you should get for yours. After you told me about the built right, is the running light that DS has on his truck that I added to my truck. It goes right above your license plate. The
free light one.
Yep.
Yeah.
You have to send me your address or something. I can send you out the pin. I made a video with putting in the pin at the bottom bumper connector, so it's a factory OE install.
Yep, I'll do that. I'll send
what
you info.
what trim level did you get? Do you have LED lights and stuff, or you got halogen
I
lights?
do not have the LED lights, but I've already replaced all my not halogens to LEDs anyway. So I did do that. Sorry, I mentioned the LED light upgrades. I did do that. So
Okay.
I kind of don't like the halogens, and the way this truck when I bought it didn't have LEDs, but I limited that myself.
Did you have to use like a scan tool or anything to change the flash or anything?
Nope.
Really? Interesting.
So there's I forgot what you guys are more experienced than me, but basically you can buy them out there that have the like the fog lights. So have like a resistor on it. So it kind of pulls the system into thinking it's drawing more power than it is.
Okay.
These LED lights don't draw anything, but I think it fools the system into thinking that it is. But
Yeah, right.
Yeah, makes sense. I've heard that.
Those are pretty slick.
Yeah, pretty.
Are you gonna tint the windows?
I'm thinking about that. I've never had a truck with never tinted my windows before, but I see the difference from the front windows and the back. So I kind of thinking about doing that.
I got 35 on mine. Just to match I have 35 on mine to match the back windows. Just to give it like a clean.
Yeah, I like it.
The same. Not one's real dark and one's kind of you know, it's
I'm
just
definitely, it's on the list of things to do. So many things I want to do, but
yeah.
prioritizing what I can do, in what order.
One thing that I wish I would have done right off the rip, but I don't know, I just didn't get a chance to do it, or I just timing was the X-Bell. I'd really like to get like the front bra, or maybe the mirror caps, my front bumper. I mean, the grill would be kind of hard. I don't know how they would do that, but just those trouble areas that are flat right up front. You can put a big piece of real estate, plastic, not plastic, but that material over it, just to prevent those chips, because as soon as that paint's gone, you're
Mhm.
exposed to metal, and then the corrosion process is going to start, and it's just pretty much downhill for that, until you get some touch-up paint or something to you know stop that oxidation. But it is what it is. I know it'd be a little harder to see with mine compared to DS's, because his is a lighter color, so those rock chips might stand out a little more in his truck. I did have a Star White truck come in, and that would caught my eye. I was doing something down to the um cruise control module, and it big old rock chip. I'm like, oh man, dude.
Well, if anything on these trucks, if you have a painted bumper, like you have a painted bumper all black, those chip real bad. And I have experience with my 150, whatever's going on with the bumpers. I believe they're steel bumpers, and they chip and they get those little rust spots.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could expel one thing first, because it is expensive, I think the bumper would be the first thing,
Probably.
most bang for your buck.
I think so. I would agree with that for sure, because it's just something that's going to be taking the brunt of pretty much everything. And so it's like, if it's getting flung off of a truck going 50 miles an hour, and you're going 50 miles an hour, well, that impact of that object, I mean, in that one area is either going to spider that paint, that clear coat, all the way down to the metal, and it's just like, oh man, kind of like when I saw my oil leak, and I was like, oh man.
The only good thing about it is you gotta get kind of close to see it. Other than that, it's just kind of irritating.
Dude, we
Yeah.
have
I mean,
some.
sorry, Matt, go ahead.
We'll have some platinums that come in, and it looks like someone took buckshot to the front bumper,
Oh,
and it just
jeez.
makes me feel so bad for those guys. But you know what? They run the hell out of their truck, so it's up to them. It's their truck. I can't tell them what to do.
That's right. That's damn right.
I mean, if it's warranty, I can. Outside of that, no. Well, maybe if it's a DOT inspection, then I can tell them what to do.
True that. True
Hey,
that.
Rod, I'm curious, your oil leak you mentioned. How many miles do you have on your truck?
I have 7,600.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm kind of bummed out. I mean, it is what it is. I'm kind of over it, I guess. It's. I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna make content. I'm gonna get paid to fix my truck. I don't really want to fix it. I mean, work on my truck. But it's going to be a learning experience. I've never had a 20 apart yet, but I think wherever the oil leak is, I'm going to have to pull the trans out. So I'm really not looking forward to that.
Maybe you'll get lucky and it's just an injector seal in the valve cover.
No.
Yeah,
So
you're gonna
like,
get lucky.
if you look, how can I explain it to you? If like you got the engine, I'm looking at the back, you're looking at the back of the engine where the trans is connecting, and like you have two pieces of metal that like jet out from the block. The trans bolts to the block, and then you have the starter, and you have the oil filter adapter.
Yeah,
It's
I know
like
exactly where you're talking about.
it's like the space between the bottom of the starter and the top of the oil filter adapter, the piece of the metal that jets out where the block and trans all comes together. I see oil coming out. So I'm like, what the hell? It's black, so I know it's oil. It's not trans. I cleaned it off, added dye to it, and I was going to change my oil at 10,000 because it's going to be up for my second oil change. So it's like, do I just kind of look and inspect, every week or a couple days just to see if it's getting any worse? I have started to see oil again since I cleaned it, and it's not coming from the same spot. It is now coming from between the bell housing now. So, which kind of makes me to believe that it might be a rear crank seal. But if it's not a rear crank seal, the only thing that's back
you
there
know what
is
it is. You know what it is.
what, upper pan?
They can't escape it. You know.
No,
what it
it's
is.
got a gasket, like a a rubber gasket.
That doesn't matter. Not on those things.
Come on, man. I hope not, dude.
It seems kind of strange that it would be coming from that outside spot first, and then,
Well, let it be an upper oil pan, because I'll tell you what, I got a new way I'm going to be doing upper oil pans, and I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to talk about it right now.
Wait,
I have
what
to
did
find
you have
out.
to tell me?
I'm going to tell you, but I'm not going to tell you on the podcast. He gave me a very detailed email, and I just sent him emojis with mind blown, because I'm like. And I have yet to hear from him. I left my number, my hotline number, because I got to talk to this guy, and I have to see WTF, because I was blown away. Yeah, I don't hope it's one for my truck, but whatever. I said it is what it is, and
I'm intrigued.
I was too. And buddy, let me tell you, when I read you the email afterwards, you're gonna be like. He sent me a picture, and I was like, "Are you for real? Like, are you?"
Maybe we shouldn't be talking about this.
Are you for real?
We shouldn't be talking about this.
We can talk about it.
I can smell the labor cuts coming right now.
This is fictitious. We haven't even divulged.
Oh yeah,
anything.
one guy.
This is something you don't want to get out.
I'm a nobody, so just remember that.
Well, you brought
intrigued.
up your oil leak, your rear main, potentially a rear main seal, but not confirmed yet. And it's hard when you got a brand new truck, you got this kind of money out there.
Right. And speaking of rear main, make sure to stay tuned just for you guys, because this is going to air way after this video airs. So today is Wednesday, the 23rd.
This is going to air before this goes up.
Yeah. This coming Tuesday, so I don't know, the 29th or 27th. Rear crank seal 6.7 Alumaduty 2017. I had to do an upper oil pan, and I noticed the rear crank seal was leaking. So how this is leaking on mine kinda is like this one.
What year was it?
That was a 17.
I wonder if it could be both with yours, because you saw it on the near the housing, near the oil filter housing, and then coming from.
I've never seen a rear crank like pour. I've seen them seep.
Bro, wait till you see the video. I swear. Like, I don't get too many of them. I'm gonna tell you right now. I've probably done, since 6.7's been out, probably 3, maybe 4, maybe, including this one. So when you see
but when I do it, it's like barely a little bit, and I usually can't even tell if it's like it just got up in there from the flex plates slinging it everywhere. But
no, the whole bell housing had oil in it. The upper oil pan was leaking, and it was leaking, way up front. The whole front was all, juiced up, but the back, when I had the trans out, I'm just like, oh man. I didn't order that. Luckily, we had it in stock.
But
I need to see your ways of you getting that special tool in there. Because
why 2 points of failure like that? Like, that blows, man.
I don't know. I think really my opinion, for one, the RTV silicone that the workshop manual calls for is not the correct silicone. And I'm going to tell you that right now. The TA357, which is what the workshop manual says to use, is the high performance RTV. It is something you use on the EcoBoosts. It's something that you use on everything else that you put together without a rubber gasket, and gasoline only. The best example I can use is when you are changing your oil at home or when you're at work and you use the white gloves. What happens to them when you touch diesel fuel or oil. They balloon up. The petroleum eats the rubber. That's why we have to wear the nitrile gloves. We can dunk our hands, we can put our hands in oil and fuel, and it don't do nothing. We just it's doesn't do nothing. So the same thing is happening to the TA357. I'm not going to say it's going to happen right away, but give it some time, coupled with the engine assemblers who probably are not using the baby wipes, probably are not wiping it down, and are just going. It's all about the prep work. And if you don't have the surfaces prepared to accept the silicone, then you're going to have repeat oil leaks. You're going to have warranty numbers going up, and you're going to have techs doing repairs over and over for the same job, when really to correct the concern is you need to be putting the TA31. It's the same cock tube. It's not a long cock tube. It's the short little small boy. We've been using it ever since the 7.3 came out. In fact, they just recently changed the label, because the label for the last 19 years has said 7.3 liter diesel right on it. I don't want any other silicone. Give me the one that says the 7.3, please. So even though that is not looked at by Ford as the correct silicone to use for this job, it is the silicone that I use for every upper oil pan. I will pay for it out of my pocket. That truck is going to be getting the silicone that it deserves. That truck is not coming back with an oil leak. For one, for customer satisfaction. Two, to uphold the good name of Ford Motor Company, because it is going to spread like a wildfire. This guy is going to say, hey, my truck was down at the dealer for a week, and not understand I had lines A through H. I had a whole bunch of heated seat, battery, a bunch of recalls, basic maintenance, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And it took time to do the whole job. And then I found a rear crank seal leaking. So it's like, well, do I really want this guy to come back? I had his truck for over a week. We had back ordered parts. I'm not putting TA357 on, man. It's just not happening. And I got a lot of
stockpile it and then throw it in the trash.
Right there. It's garbage. If you're gonna use TA357, only use it on the gasoline. Or if you're gonna put it, if you gotta take your valve covers off and you gotta put a little dab of silicone on the T-joint areas, that's it. You're not going to be doing anything else with diesels and TA357, because it's going to eat it up, chop it up, and then you're going to have an oil leak. Coupled with now what we were talking in our pregame show before we started was the CCVs, and we see these cab chassis trucks come in. So you have a vehicle that, for one, has not got the right, does not have the correct silicone. For one, didn't have, or probably was not prepared the best. I mean, it really, look at my video and you see my fingers slide across. You use the ZC31 baby wipes. My finger does not move. It is, there's nothing on the surface of that. And if that does not happen between the block and the upper oil pan, you're going to get a leak. There's no way around it. And then you have these trucks that have all these high crankcase pressures, and it's just going to be spew city for oil leaks. And I think that's where these upper oil pans maybe get their bad rap, is because of the sealing quality of TA357, coupled with these cab chassis trucks that are designed to work, but these CCV boxes are not really doing their job. And since they have had so many problems with it, these CCV boxes have been redesigned to be filterless now. So it's just a constant draft of crankcase ventilation right back into the turbo, into the intake, and to meet the emission requirements. So
with the crankcase ventilation on a newer design not being filtered, does that dump before the air filter on the vehicle, or does that dump after the air filter?
After.
It goes right into the intake.
Aaron, have you cut open the new style yet?
Style.
let's see, FC3Z 6 Apple 785-F.
Cut them open?
Yeah, the one that doesn't have the filter in it.
No, I mean, I just look at the hole.
Well, no, I know. It's got a ton of baffling in it. So it's essentially the same. It's basically a drain back catch can now.
Interesting.
I understand their intentions with the filter, but that's a service thing that
maybe
no one's gonna remember to do.
Maybe those baffles are creating a restriction similar to the filter. Maybe. I mean, maybe not all the way.
I'm saying the new one has baffling, but it's not the same as. It's not as bad.
I know my buddy, one of my coworkers, he had just completed a couple of 6.7 long blocks and was replacing the CCV box. Took the filter out of it, and it literally just crumbled. Like, are you kidding me? How did that not get ingested into the engine? Like, literally crumbled.
Wow.
I'm like, oh my gosh, bro. Mind you, this thing had, I don't know, 6,000 idle hours or something. I mean, it was a record. So, I mean, it's been working. But I think that thing's just getting burned up with the oil and the heat and the idling and the thermocycling of that mixture and that, I don't know, what would you call that material, Matt? Like the element, like what is that? Paper? Fibrous paper? I could describe it. What is that?
It's like a bunch of individual fibers that just lay on top of each other.
Yeah, it's like carbon fiber.
They should have never made that a serviceable filter. They should have just done it as a baffle. Because I've even tried to sell that. Not even as an upsell, like, hey, your truck idles a lot. We should change this. And they're like, I'll do it myself. And they never do it.
Wow.
So this crankcase ventilation only is used during idle. Once you're at cruising speed, it's not.
No, it's used all the time. It's always
all
used.
the time.
It's just to take the blow by and put it right back through the intake. It's the same as a PCV system.
Same thing.
But so without a one-way check valve.
Because basically, if you're going to put anything on, so you have the turbo, anything on this side of the turbo is going to be under a vacuum. So if you hook something to the intake manifold before the turbo, it's going to draw in the air from the air filter, and because it's got this port into the intake, it's going to draw in whatever's coming out of that hose from the CCV and go back into the engine, and
it's interesting because every crankcase ventilation system I've seen goes pre-air filter. It kind of makes the air filter look dirty, but maybe it would just burn up the air filter on a Powerstroke.
Those things are really, really sensitive to airflow or like air metering. So that would be a terrible idea for them.
Yeah. So it really doesn't matter. It's not like you need to filter the air out of the engine though, right?
To get any solids or oil out of it, you do.
I'm saying, like, how does air get back into the engine? Like, air is coming out. So just blow-bys. So it's already filtered air. So pretty much all the air that's coming out from this valve is pretty much just blow-by.
Pretty much. It's dirty air.
Yeah, it's dirty.
Yeah. Dirty vapor. Dirty vapor.
That's
it's
no
dirty
different.
It's dirty in the sense that it has oil in it, some oil particles or whatever.
Well, it's supposed to all get filtered out. Otherwise, your truck would run away.
True.
But it's not scuffing the cylinder walls or anything with grit.
No.
In theory.
No. It's in theory, it's a closed system.
Yeah.
But
because blow-by is filtered air. It's filtered from the air intake and it goes into the cylinder and then it.
Yeah, but this vapor that is in the CCV system is the vapor that's in the bowels of the engine, like in the bottom of the crankcase, like here's the bottom of the oil pan and here's the level. And then here's the crank whipping this void of air that's between the block and the piston and the connecting rods. That's all airspace, and you have vapor in there, and that's where all that stuff. It's not really filtered air. It's just the air that's in the engine that's just there, and it just generates heat. And I mean, like, remember when we were talking about the other day about flashpoints with oil and stuff, and the temperatures, well, all that stuff.
It's your oil burning off, oil vapors,
exactly.
or maybe some fuel vapors, or maybe even like
what you should do with, how you were talking about, you said you were fucking burning oil. You should fucking,
well, we got to bring that up. We haven't even brought that up on the podcast yet.
You should take your oil fill cap off and see if you have, do you have excessive blow by for some reason?
Go do that right now.
I came, it's dark, man.
Yeah, where you would see the popping up and the.
Oh, you'll hear it. You'll hear it. If you have blow by on those things, you'll hear it.
You want me to lift up the take off the cap?
Just remote start your truck right now. Let it idle for a little bit. I mean, when they're really bad, you can start it up and run to the front and take the cap off, and it's just a boom.
Is it raining still? Because if it's raining,
look out the door.
Get your biggest, baddest Milwaukee flashlight.
I don't have a Milwaukee flashlight.
You got all the tools hanging on the wall, all that Milwaukee shit, and you ain't got no flashlight?
It's not really raining. It's just windy. I mean, I can probably swing out there.
There is a point to convey here, and this doesn't mean everyone needs to go, put a CCV reroute kit on their truck. This is like, you have to remember, the vehicles we see come in the dealership is like such a small fraction of what's out there on the road. Mm-hmm. And it's 17 through 19, it's definitely a problem. So I would encourage anyone with a 17 to 19 cabin chassis, if you think you're having an oil consumption issue or an oil leak, just do yourself a favor. Start that puppy up and just twist the cap right off. But make sure you have a good grip on it, because there's some I've had them shoot it right out of my hand.
So it shoots out of your hand, right? Let's just say hypothetically mine does it. What does that mean? That means there's pressure, there's excessive crankcase pressure getting inside a crankcase?
Caused by your crankcase vent assembly being clogged up because it can't push the air. There's nowhere for the air to go, right? There's nowhere for the vapors to go. So the easiest place for it to go is once you open the cap, all the crankcase pressure is coming up through any, I wouldn't say oil valleys, because that's not what it's going to be, but any opening in the engine that it can. So think where the push rods go through from down in the crankcase, and then the air just sneaks up, and then you pull the cap off, all the pressure is released.
Mm-hmm. Like, I'm going to show you right now.
So that can cause some rear main seal issues, and let's just say it can cause like
rear main, oil pan, front cover, anything.
But could that cause consumption?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Absolutely.
So if none of those things are leaking and you have consumption, that would point to pressure coming.
Well, yeah, I mean, other than the worst case scenario, the worst scenarios of the worst, or I would say more common scenarios you'd see in engines since the dawn of their invention of, well, I shouldn't say their invention, because back then they had valves that were external and everything, but then you're looking at, rings and valve seeds and guides.
All right.
But for all we know, they're going to come out with a TSB that's going to change something, and I don't understand how they can do an update and it keeps it from burning oil. That literally blows my mind.
All right, let's see.
Ed, I hope, or no, not Ed, Chad. I hope we're not scaring you right now.
Not at all. Not at all.
Dude, so
sometimes stuff goes down outside.
There's a customer we have that
Let's check this out. Hold on.
I'm gonna have to see if he wants to come on, because this man, every time he comes in, he's got his Powerstroke hat on, and he just loves Powerstrokes to the end of day.
Check it out.
I don't even know if we can hear it.
Can you hear it?
Oh,
I
dude,
heard it before.
It's really laggy. Oh, that's sad.
I heard it before.
Yeah, I heard it playing in the background, but
if you get to see it, it's gonna do it.
oh, do you see something missing in that picture?
Yes, I do.
Why isn't it on there?
I have no idea.
Dude, even if people have it on there, they'll still snap it off.
What camera angle do I have here? Matt, what do you see on my screen?
Oh, I heard it. I heard it. Boom.
Hey, Rod, am I looking at my
You're front facing.
front facing? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't even see my own screen.
Holy hell.
That was a good one.
That was crazy.
Dude, it sprayed oil up onto your hand.
I know, bro. Like, it's
So let's-
for real. That's a lot of freaking pressure to blow that cap off.
Let's do mine then.
Let's do it. Pop that hood, baby. Oh, you're gonna have to.
You're gonna have to.
Start the truck.
My headphones are gonna freak out when I turn this on, so bear with me. All right.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Because it's Bluetooth and shit's gonna kick on.
Do.
You'll have to put the high idle mod that I did. The upfit. I've done a bunch. The dude that was on, he came up. He's in Ohio. He drove up and saw me. I did his truck. And I've done
that's why that's why he looks so familiar.
That was the
do that.
That guy. He was actually the video that I made the OCR video on.
Okay, back to the headphones. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, we can hear you. All right, you're gonna have to grab your phone right now.
Oh, I'm on the phone. How can I get the phone if I'm?
Because we got to see it. There we go.
No, we got to see it.
All right, hold up.
You gotta hold your phone.
Oh, you want me to? Oh, you want me to take the phone off and go up there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you see?
Oh,
With
most
this
definitely.
flashlight?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Can you see the cap or no?
No.
Because I can raise this up.
Oh, you have your computer outside.
No, he's got his tripod.
But I just saw his phone in his hand.
Yeah, that's his. He's not on
I got
his
two
cell phone.
phones.
Oh.
I got a work phone.
Take your one that isn't. Take the one that's taking the video and put it up in there.
All right.
It sounds pretty cool.
I got
Dude, it sounds like a video game. So, Chad, what kind of oil are you think you're gonna do with your oil changes?
I'm leaning towards the Rotella T6, but
right on.
Here's what your guys' thoughts are on that. Seems to be pretty popular in the diesel world, so.
Yeah, I don't know what it's kind of got a cult following, but I don't know if that's because you can find Rotella at literally every gas station.
No.
store.
Hold on 1 second before we get into this.
No.
Got me up here with two phones. I'm gonna fall into the motor.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect.
Give that girl a twist.
He's about to do it live. Let's see. We compare and contrast. Okay, here we go.
This comes off no pressure.
Okay, let's see. You got any smoke coming out? No.
Should I get a dollar bill out? Should I get a dollar bill and hold it up there like Bill Hewitt?
Oh,
really? Just hold the cap. Just put the cap on upside down.
Oh, Bill, I have a summons for you, old wise one. Come and join us here on the podcast. We'd love to have you. Get out of that Georgia mud and come and hang out. Come and hang out with us. We'd love to have you.
Matt? Oh, fuck.
Oh.
Well, it didn't jump.
Apparently it did.
Well, it vibrated.
That was pretty much the funniest shit ever.
All the 12 valve Cummins guys are laughing at you right now.
That's so funny. I'm pretty impressed.
No, it's not gonna stay on there. I've tried a million times. It will not stay on there.
Yeah, but it's not jumping.
All right.
Kind of slid off. Oh.
Wait, hold on. Is that their fix? That's silly.
Yeah.
Can you see?
That's
Matt?
we know that's not going to do anything. We had another one come in with that tube blown apart today, or shredded
This
apart,
new
I should
tube
say.
right here, this fancy looking spider leg thing. This.
No, that was another problem with the 17 through 19s is the crimps weren't done very well and they'd leak coolant.
I made a video on that because I was getting a bad rash of them.
What are you talking about, Matt?
I got so sick of waiting for those things to come off back order. I just got to the point where I take my side cutters and squeeze them tighter and send it out the door.
Yeah. I got some Oetiker clamp pliers and some new clamps.
Are you talking about these clamps right here?
Yeah, yep.
They look almost like the same thing you use on like Shark Bite plumbing. There's like a special tool that crimps it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just use my side cutters for that. I will say I am kind of upset that they moved the battery back to the old location and changed the intake.
I think it's good that they got the upfitter wiring on that side instead of it being on this side, and then the pass-through wires on this side. It's like, why wouldn't you guys put all that shit on the same side? It's like,
well, I mean, they only made it extremely easy on when they had everything on the driver's side and the wires were right there, but everyone still felt the need to run it all through the cab and have wires everywhere.
I forgot to ask you, Chad, what trim level is your truck? Is it a XLT? Is it a Lariat?
It's a Lariat. Yep. Lariat.
Do you have push button start?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
it's the Lariat Ultimate package.
You gotta get Forescan. It's something that's it's a free subscription. It expires in like 2 months. You just renew it. They send you a new activation code. Forescan recognizes this. This is what I use every day to connect. You see me connect to every truck that I do. Matt uses this every day, and this is pretty much a J3259 or whatever they call it pass-through device. And I didn't need to buy a dongle, so they get you where you have to buy their $30 dongle so you can communicate or whatever. But I have a spreadsheet that I found off of Facebook, and I wound up turning my C-rings full brightness, so they're supposed to dim when they turn the headlights on. I turned my seatbelt thing off, seatbelt chime. There's a sequence of buttons to push that didn't require a computer. I turned off the chime that you hear in DS's truck. I turned off
that's
the
such
chime.
A welcoming chime.
I turned off the chime or the horn beep when you shut the door and got the key in your pocket. Oh, dude, that drives me crazy. I turned that off. What else did I do? Oh, do you?
Oh yeah, I use it.
Oh yeah, you got to do your truck, man. It's freaking. You can find the spreadsheet on there.
I've done one thing. Two things. I did the horn beep when you close the door, and also a Bambi mode.
Yeah. I did my turn signals, so my turn signals flash 6 times when when you just hit it instead of the 3 times. So I don't know. I like lights.
You see the one in there in the spreadsheet about the changing your tire pressure and your so you can do instead of 65 and 60, you can change them both to 60.
It wasn't in my spreadsheet. Do you have a 2020 that has that?
Oh yeah.
No kidding. Yeah, you'll have to send that to me because I'm tired of running the 80 in the rear, and I want to run the 65. But I can't because the tire light will be on.
Yeah, that might be an FDRS option.
It may be.
Really?
Yeah.
I know
there's a TPMS drop down.
I know I had an 11, a gentleman who needed like 2 sensors, and they're like $150 a piece. And Forescan actually allowed you to turn off TPMS. I'm like, get out of here, dude. That's freaking awesome. I've never used it before.
I'm looking for that setting for you now.
Oh man, that'd be freaking awesome. I'd write that.
But before we forget, when I was under the hood, you mentioned oil. I think one of you guys mentioned oil, maybe Matt. And,
we didn't even get to that point yet. So you were saying you were going to run
what oil?
T6, and then you wanted our thoughts and opinions on it. my thought is we have Motorcraft 1030 everywhere at the dealership. We have 1540 for our 7.3s and 6 liters.
Do you have 540 in bulk?
No, we only have
Either.
it in, that's, if someone wants 540, I will gladly fill your truck with it. I will sit there and pour, 2.5 cases of oil into it in a very painstakingly slow process, because I like to be able to just take my oil gun, shove the oil cap under it, and walk away for, a minute or two. But most, unless a customer says, hey, I want 1540 for the summer, or hey, I want 540 or 040 or 030, I usually just fill with 1030. And
how much was that, Sean?
I haven't had a problem with it.
This cost me $30 at AutoZone. And
is it 5 or is it 1.25 gallons?
It's 5 quarts.
No shit.
5 quarts, $30. And so we're talking about oil. My truck, 3,000 miles, was 1.5 quarts low on oil. 3,000 miles, 170 idles on it, or hours on the engine. And it does tell you the idle hours. I think it's like 50 idle hours or something. But yeah, it's low on oil, so we don't know where it's going. I did plow snow with it real heavy one day where I worked for, I think that truck probably ran for 9 hours that day. It turned off once in the middle for a quick break. We went to 7-Eleven. But other than that, it was cold, so I had the truck running, and we plowed and shoveled and all that. And I'm kicking myself in the butt a little bit because I haven't checked the oil enough. I've checked it when I bought the truck and drove it off the lot. I checked it then. I checked it, early in the time that I had it, but it was still clean oil. And then I figured, I got so busy and I figured, man, I haven't checked my oil in a while. I'll go out and check it. Oil's black, but it is 1.5 quarts low. But when I pulled it out, there was like nothing on the dipstick. So I warmed it up. I warmed up the truck and let it sit for 15 minutes, and it's still nothing on the dipstick. 1.4 quarts, 1.4, 1.5 quarts low. I just topped it off with the 1030, which kind of sucks because this is $30, and I got a lot of extra, and I do want to switch from this oil. I'm gonna have some extra left over. Now, what's interesting though about this is it straight up says right on it that they don't recommend this below 0 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's interesting. What do you think, Matt?
It doesn't really get below 0 degrees around these parts.
It used to. It hasn't in the last couple years, but
Well, I mean, obviously we had our polar vortex, and I was in Chicago at training at the time when it was literally the coldest place on the planet.
Yeah, I remember that.
They were lighting railroad tracks on fire to get the switches to unfreeze and to keep the, whatever. And I remember I went to start the loaner Escape, one of our loaner cars.
Wow.
And it wasn't that it started slow or like it cranked slow because the battery was frozen. It was like I pulled the dipstick out. The oil was like goo.
Mm-hmm.
And like it
how
was
cold. How cold was it?
Dude, it was no joke. I started the car. It said negative 68 degrees.
What?
I have never been in such a cold environment in my life. And
Man.
that was with, what was the guy's last name? Dennis something. And anyone that's watching this that's gone to training in Chicago that had it with Dennis would know he was a great guy, and bless his soul, rest in peace, because I think a week or two later he had a grabber.
Oh.
And that sucked because he was a great guy. I mean, I already had, I went to school for automotive, so I breezed through that class, but he helped people learn. I know a lot of people, even on like the Ford Tech forums, were like, oh, he was my favorite instructor, blah, 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 blah. But anyways, yeah. I don't know.
It was cold. It didn't start. It started funny.
Oh, dude, it cranked so slow.
Yeah, and that's thin oil though. That's like 530 probably.
Probably 520. It was
520, yeah, and then escape. So that's cold rated oil.
I don't think
Negative.
Chad or DS has ever seen a CCV.
Have you guys seen like a totally waxed up fuel filter?
Mm-mm. I mean, I haven't really seen many fuel filters.
Arod, you have a picture of like a completely just waxed up fuel filter?
No, but here's a CCV filter. This is what gets all plugged up. Like that material that just gets all saturated with oil and is just nasty. Right in there, all those bolts. You see that bolt right there that I'm pointing at? There's like all the way around.
You see that wire going up to that white fitting?
Mm-hmm.
You can stretch that really far.
Gee, I wonder how you found that out.
So my thoughts on the Shell Rotella T6 is when you look up the specs on that oil, it has really good cold pour points. It has really good flash points. And it's decent enough with fuel dilution and all that stuff. So it's one of the top of the line oils, if not the best, one of the best. The only one that claims to be better than that one is the AMSOIL one. They've got all kinds of tests that say that their oil is better and it holds up better once you hit like 200 hours. Apparently, according to AMSOIL, once you hit 200 hours, the AMSOIL continues to perform all the way to like 400 hours, where the Shell Rotella kind of tapers off at 200 hours. But who's running their oil longer than 200 hours anyway?
Yeah.
So
I read that on AMSOIL. And the only question about AMSOIL, which I like AMSOIL, is the fact that it doesn't officially meet forward specs for oil, is my understanding. But
that's confusing to me. That's confusing to me because it does meet its spec, but it's not on their website. It's not on the Motorcraft website approved list. But AMSOIL lists the WS whatever spec code that is. Actually, it's right here on this because this probably has it written on it.
You know, I wonder.
For the longest time, I ran, what is it, T4? Is that what I'm thinking of? They're 1540. Cheap, I can get oil at the dealership. That's my thing with it. Everyone, I mean, get your oil change wherever you want, run whatever you want. But with how often we're supposed to change the oil on these things, I recommend Motorcraft 1030 just to keep costs down.
Now,
what I'm planning to do is Motorcraft filter, Shell Rotella T6, obviously Motorcraft fuel filters, every 10,000 miles probably is what I'm gonna shoot for. What interval for oil change? I'm planning about 5,000 miles. What do you
That's exactly what I would be doing too.
That's what I put on. I mean, I don't even. What is the book say? 7,500 or 10,000?
Yeah. And
the only thing
we're gonna get that changed.
Only thing is it could be 5,000, but it could be lower if you do a ton of idling or city driving.
Sure.
And the trip computer should be able to take that into account, the onboard computer. Mm-hmm. So for mine, I'm at 3,000 miles with 30%, but I do a lot of idling. It looks like I'll probably make 4,000 miles. I don't know. Before I hit 0%, I'll probably go ahead and do it early because it's my first one. But I know if I were doing 5,000.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead, Matt.
I was gonna say
my 6'2".
We can't figure this out. No, go ahead and then I'll add on.
No, my 6'2" has only got 12,000 miles. So if I did 5,000s, I would be way over, and that probably would have caused some damage or sludge or something. But it just doesn't put on miles, but it puts a ton of short trips and whatever. So it gets its stuff done a lot sooner than 5,000 miles.
I mean, the biggest thing is CJ4, but no, as far as intervals, the things with the oil life monitor, obviously guys that are doing a lot of highway miles, those guys, their monitor at 5,000 miles, sometimes they'll only be at like 50%.
Okay, DS
me.
would like this.
Yeah.
That's me.
DS would like this.
So if go ahead, Aaron.
Motorcraft 540 full synthetic diesel, I'm reading this right off the website, you guys can see here, is formulated for improved oxidation protection and contains more than 1,000 parts per million phosphorus to improve wear protection. Designed for low-emission diesel engines, providing excellent soot control, protection against wear, deposits, rust and corrosion, foaming, sludge formation, high temperature oxidation and thickening, as well as protecting exhaust after-treatment systems such as particulate filters. It also provides excellent performance in older generation diesel engines operating on high sulfur fuel. And it says it meets all the ratings here. Requirements of API service CK4, and then, all this other mumbo jumbo here, which I think has all been superseded by the CK4 now.
All right. So before we jump back to the a lot of highway driving and only reaching 50% as far as miles. This oil, this 1030 actually says 1,000 parts per million phosphorus as well as that one. Does that one say 1,000?
Well, they're all going
million?
to.
They're all going to be 1,000.
They're all.
So that's
all of them are going to guarantee the same things. It's just how they do it.
So
if that makes sense, right? So
if the Shell has that,
they all have that. I'm not going to say I can guarantee it does, but at the end of the day, they're competing against each other. So they're not going to, leave out one thing and then say their oil's superior. I mean, when you're looking at like name brand oils, all of them are basically going to offer the same exact protection. It's just like the no-name brand that you find at the gas station. I wouldn't do a whole oil change with that. If you have to like top it off with it to get you somewhere, sure. But I wouldn't change my oil with some house brand of your favorite big box store.
Are you running this stuff, Chad?
I'm actually been running a Standardine Performance.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with that.
At least you're running something.
Yeah, I started doing it since day one. First tank I put in, I've been using it ever since. And then
hold on, A-Rod, I want you to go to exterior and interior cleaners next.
Oh, okay. I want to touch on this really quick for Chad, just because he's a newcomer to the diesel. Are you definitely be getting the Motorcraft DEF?
Okay.
Because I have had, I'll put a link to that. I can send it to you. I had a truck come in, was not using the correct DEF, put it down into D rate, and I actually used a refractometer to check the DEF concentration, and it was actually way below the threshold that the truck wanted it at. So it wound up actually not being warrantable, and I had to drop the DEF tank and change all that stuff out. So word to the wise, make sure everybody's using DEF. Motorcraft, where you at? I'm repping you all the time. Nothing but the best for your Ford.
Look at those big, bold letters at the bottom.
Do not add to fuel tank. I'm cleaning out a transit fuel tank right now. That's exactly what they did.
Does the transit smell like fish?
I don't know. It's been open over a year and it don't smell like nothing. There's a lot of dust in it. Okay, exterior vehicle and cleaners for the interior. What do we got here? What do you want?
I think that's where I draw the line.
I want some shampoo.
I draw the line there. I'll stick to
Give me some shampoo. Give me some shampoo.
Okay. Cleans, grease, oil, and road dirt from engine and engine compartment prior to painting or performing engine repair.
Okay, I cannot confirm or deny this. That stuff is expensive. I'm pretty sure that is just dollar store oven cleaner that they put a label on.
Really?
But it works so well.
Wow.
It smells deathly like ammonia to the point where I have to wear a respirator when I use it and dump the whole can out.
Can you guys see this?
Yep.
Okay, so I wonder.
Oh, ZC20.
Let's see how much this is shopping. Huh. $11.99.
$11.
$16.99.
Yeah, I mean,
But if you have
Okay.
any sort of like oil leak,
How
power
about
steering
these?
leak, any fluid leak, that stuff.
How about these? How much do you think these are?
Oh, you want the whole thing? $125.
Hold on.
No, that's
ZC.
ZC30. That's also an excellent product for getting silicone off mating surfaces.
I do
after
not
you've
like
already
that
scraped
smell. How come it's
it.
not
Dude, it's
going up?
oranges. Why don't you like it?
I do not like the smell of that. Right
Just
there.
type in,
Oh,
yeah.
Riley's has
dude,
it?
Yeah, they have everything. Dude,
No
it's gonna
way.
be, I'm gonna say $125 for that container. Or they're not even gonna show a price.
How much is O'Reilly's?
Yeah,
How much are they selling it?
It doesn't have a price.
I cannot believe they have that.
You have
That's
to
crazy.
punch in a zip code to get the pricing on that.
ZC31B.
Oh, hold on, it's on Amazon. You just missed it. But I'm gonna say at least
Amazon.
$125 because I think we bill those out. It's a lot. They're not cheap. What?
they're probably more at the dealer.
No way. That's got to
much
be
is-
for one wipe.
That's got it.
That's got to be one wipe.
I'm telling you, man, a dealer jacks up the price on some stuff, man.
Oh, trust me, I know.
So Amazon's just got a better
Wow.
deal.
Yeah, so let's go back to what
No,
else we got here?
I'm believing the one that says it's about $200 for that whole container.
Oh, I believe it. I think that's what it is. Here you go. Free shipping for $23. Oh, that's shipping.
Hold on, check it on Tasca.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's a dealer. Damn.
Yeah, there you go.
It's good shit though.
So wait, let me ask you guys this.
Good stuff.
I can't remember. I think when I got a full synthetic oil change on my 250, I want to say they gave me more miles before, because normally they give you what, like 5,000 miles? I think they put more. Is that true? If you get a full synthetic, they give you a little bit more miles, or like?
I always just do 5,000 miles no matter what it is.
Dang, I didn't know we had detail wash. That's pretty sweet.
Dude, Ford has that. They got their hands in everything.
Dude, that's freaking awesome. I want some Motorcraft stuff. What else we got? We got hand care products. What?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. I actually have a box of these. Do you have a box of these?
Do they work well?
Yeah, they're not bad at all.
Because my favorite are the orange ones that have the textured grip on them, and it makes you look like you have chicken skin. And those are like 6 mil thick glove, or no, they're like 12 mil thick gloves, whatever the mil means, because it's obviously not millimeters, but
high performance garbage.
Dude, nothing makes me more angry than bad gloves.
Yeah.
These ones, you snag them on something, it's not going to tear. Your hand's going to stay right where it was. Trash. Throw it in the trash. Don't even look at it.
Look what it says for the high performance TA357. Required for use on all 3.5, 3.7, and Mustang 5.8 valve engine gasket application.
I haven't seen the 5.8 name in a while. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
What do you guys think about like?
Bam.
What do you guys think about like AMSOIL?
Oh no, that's going to be TA. There it is. There it is.
A specially designed Alcoxy Cure RTV. What the hell is Alcoxy?
I don't know.
Do you know what that is?
Is that the 7.3 formula? The old it used to be the 7.3 formula.
It's the international formula.
Oh.
Ugh.
What is that? What does that mean?
Dude, you still need to eat asparagus and tell me if you think that smells like... Wait a minute. What is this? Just wait. We're going to figure out this is for sealing like your bathtub or something. And it's made by the Dow Chemical Company.
It's Loctite. It's just got a sticker on it, a different sticker.
I know. We're going to have to do some hardcore research on this.
Yeah,
that
for
stuff
sure.
Works. Dude, the thing is, too, if you ever have... let's say the best examples are rear diff cover, right? and you put TA31 on as your sealant and you try to get that stuff off, it's like it's a permanent seal on there.
TA29? I've used TA29 before.
Dude, I get angry when I see those little tubes.
So let me ask you guys this. You guys obviously recommend Motorcraft, but you can run whatever. Shell Rotilla T6, that's a good oil. But this whole, like we were talking about, this whole AMSOIL thing, it has the Ford certification on it, and they put it on their website, but it's not on Ford's approved list, and they list a bunch of oils that are approved. It's on Motorcraft site. You could probably find it on this site. Does that void a warranty?
If you
using AMSOIL?
Unless we can indefinitely prove that it was a lack of lubrication or lack of lubrication caused by oil breakdown, which we wouldn't really be able to prove. We'd have to send it out to a lab. And then Ford would be like, oh, you used AMSOIL. No, they're not going to.
They're probably not going to be able to know at that point through testing.
Well, they probably could compare additive packages, and they're like, well, we usually see this additive package and this.
Remember we had on the last podcast, on podcast 9, Johnny Law. Remember he said he sent his stuff to Blackstone, and they were telling him the breakdown of all that.
He was saying he sent some new samples in. I wonder if you had 2 totally used up samples, if you could look at both of those and still tell that was AMSOIL and that was Motorcraft after they've been thermal cycled. And
that's a good
technically you should, because
you should be able to still tell.
I'm going to say the quantities of detergents, tackifiers, antioxidants, and all that stuff is going to be different. And I want to say I know that for a fact when Project Farm did he sent his stuff out to a lab, and AMSOIL was way up there in like anti-wear additives and whatnot. But
how many miles are on your truck, Chad? I forgot to ask you.
I was looking on my Ford Pass app. I've got 3,900 miles.
Hell yeah, Ford Pass app.
When did you
get like 75,000 points?
I was just going to ask it. You were on the accessory page, and I was thinking about, are my points going to buy me a case of oil, or are they actually buy more than that?
So what I did was my first oil change, I wrote my truck up for oil change and it would be kind of hard for you to do it at another dealer because they'd want to make money, but I didn't charge labor on it, so I could have as much money in my Ford Pass, and I just charged out all the materials and did it myself. And that costed me like 19,000 points. So what's it going to be, like just over 20 something if you were to go in and get a diesel oil change, no rotate, just a diesel oil change? It's going to be around 20,000 points. Definitely would use it. I think a lot of people have forgotten about them and
I've never even known that you can do anything with.
When you buy your truck, you got 75,000 points. So
it takes about 30 days for it to show up.
Yeah.
But how long do they last? Because I bought a bunch of trucks from on Ford Pass.
You should check your account. Have you checked it? You might have a gazillion points.
I mean, do they go away? I've never checked it.
Yeah, you can go onto your Ford Pass app. I think it tells you how many points are there.
It's on my phone. I can do it, but
I was thinking about using it for the Super Duty bed mat. Like, you have DS on your truck.
I just got one of my subscribers one. He just came and picked it up yesterday.
Definitely want to do that.
Yeah, it was like 100 and like my cost. I think a normal customer is like 150, 160 or something, which I think, do you have the factory spray and bed liner?
It's not factory, but it is a spray and bed liner.
Yep. So you got the bed liner, and I think having the rubber mat on top of the already sandpaper, like, I'm not saying I'm throwing, heavy shit toolboxes in the bed of my truck where I'm gonna have to worry about denting it, but just for the fact that if you put something in there, it's not going to slide back because it's on the rubber. I mean, it's not as hard of the material. You know, like if it's sitting on the bed, it'd be all, you know.
Oh man, nothing slides.
Yeah,
It's really nice.
and what I thought DS did was actually a really good idea. So like when he put his salter in the back, he actually took his bed mat out like halfway, so that boy hangs right over his bumper.
Saw that.
Yeah, I thought it was too, and it's a Super Duty on. It's like, dang man, where'd you get that thing?
Big mud flap on the back.
Right. I thought that looked pretty good. So definitely would recommend getting that.
So I'm looking at my points, and it says that I have 120 million points.
What?
I'm just joking. It says 120,000.
120,000. Okay, that's good.
That's pretty good. I mean, I don't know if they've been like expiring.
Well, you got 75 when you got your truck.
Okay.
So you must have had 50,000 from either Donna's or your
19,250, 18,150.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I don't know. So will they give me money? It says something about a Visa.
I don't know how that works. Everybody that uses their Ford Pass stuff is usually what they're using to pay, you know, for like car repairs or something that they're getting done, because it's free. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
it does say right there. 75,000 points.
You will have to make sure when you go to the dealer and, you know, they get it written up. Hey, can I use my Ford Pass? They're going to ask you for the email that's associated with your Ford Pass. So make sure you give them the correct email. I had somebody who didn't, and, you know, it didn't go as smooth.
Good tip.
Ford Pass is some genius marketing on their end to keep people coming to the dealer.
For sure. I think it's a good, not only for you to control your car and, you know, unlock the doors or start it or
but just like the rewards program.
Yeah, because it used to be owner's advantage.
I'm a sucker for rewards programs. Like they're like, oh, if you get 125 points, you get a free entree, and I'm like,
well, shit.
Oh shit, we got to get to that free entree pretty quick then.
Yeah,
what can 120,000 points do for me?
Well, every diesel oil change is roughly going to be about 20,000 points.
Added or needed, or what do you mean?
No, it would be taken away. It's going to cost you 20,000 points to get a diesel oil change. So if you go there and say you want to get one, and you say, "Hey, can I use my Ford Pass?" It's going to cost you 20,000 points. So you're going to have 100,000 Ford Pass points.
So wait, so if I use 20,000 points, I don't have to pay anything? How much do I pay?
Nothing. It's
you're redeeming your points.
So like if it's 20,000 points and it's 130 in oil change, so if you got 20,000, you got like 6 or 7 oil changes right there.
Sitting there just hanging out?
Yeah. For real.
No kidding, man. I did not know that.
And people forget about it, and it's like, you know, you say it had this owner's. It was owner's advantage.
People don't
and then
know.
They stopped owner's advantage, and it went to Ford Pass.
I think a lot of people just don't know about this. I had no idea.
Damn, dude, I didn't even know.
I could have got a bed mat.
All those oil changes I've done on
I could have got a bed mat or.
Yeah, you should look at your Ford Pass and see how many points you got. Obviously, it's going to be not 20,000 points, but I mean, hell. And it's like if you get like a service visit, or if you get service done, you get like 500 points or something. Like they give you an incentive for coming there, and give you points for that visit or whatever. So. But what time are we at here? We probably over our hour cutoff.
So over.
We had fun talking about trucks here on the podcast. No, just that's where we keep it at. Just looking
we'll
at the
clock.
Talk
about LCFs on the next one.
Yeah, LCFs. I got it written down. But definitely some good stuff we talked about. Thanks again for Chad joining us tonight. We will. Get everything we talked about in some links in the description, and tell us what you liked about it in the comment section. Tell us what you didn't like. If you got questions for either one of us, make sure to direct those accordingly. And if you want to get on the show, check out my email. Should be right above my head here somewhere, and I'll get you in queue, and we can talk about your Super Duty. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you all next time on the podcasts.
Don't hang up.